Because I resell on a full-time basis, I can source basically at any time through the day. But I realize that a large portion of my audience does so on a part-time basis and often can't get to the thrift stores at ideal times throughout the work week. So I'm putting myself in a part-time reseller's shoes, and I'm only going to source one store for 1 hour maximum each night for 5 straight nights. And not only that, I'm going to do it just before closing time in the highest volume store in terms of revenue and foot traffic in all of Columbus, Ohio. This store will be heavily picked over just before closing each night, and you're going to want to watch this all the way through because you will never believe what happens at the very end. First thing I stumbled upon is these Nike, I think they're Nike Delfina. In the mid-90s, this was like the mall walking shoe of choice. So they're pretty old, and I'm looking at the bottoms. Everything looks fine. There aren't really that many comps to go on. So I end up putting these in my cart momentarily, and I go back. There's another pair of shoes from the 90s. They're like Asics gel boots from... maybe like I'm going to say the mid-90s as well, just like the other ones. They are AL424. No real good sold comps on these. There's one listed on Poshmark for $70. That was in my cart, but I do end up taking it out because the condition was very poor, and I put the Nikes away as well. So even though those are in my cart, I don't end up taking either of those. So again, at the end of the night, there's a rack out here, and you know, I'm always suspicious, but I do find this pair of Diesel Zathans. I think they were a size 32-30. You can see some fraying at the bottoms, but this is a huge bolo, so please keep your eye out for them when you see them. These actually have already been listed and sold for $50, even in the condition that they were in. So that was a fantastic find. I really did not expect to see that. Next is like an adult cartoon, adult anime gunslinger girl. I liked this, and there was no price on it, so they charged me $1.99. I think it was $1.99 they charged me. And these have already been listed and sold. Also, I had them listed for $25. I took an offer of $21.24. So that was a great find as well. I like anime. I like adult cartoon stuff. That seems to be doing well for me lately, so I liked that pickup. And then this Shark Rocket. The sales aren't really that great, so I'm going to part this piece out into 3 components: the top, the wand, middle, and then the bottom portion, like the motor. So it cost me $12.99. I'm going to take it, and it's going to be a slow seller. This is not a fast seller, but I took it home and tested it. It worked fantastic, and you know, I'll take the $95 when it does end up, or when all 3 of those pieces do end up selling. So I mean, I like, you know, what I have. And then this last DVD, Yo Gabba Gabba, I'm going to list it for $12. Comps aren't that great, but these sell well for me, so we're going to go with it. That brings my total of about 4 items purchased, just under $24, and then my total listed value for everything is going to be $182. We start really heating up on night 2. So this is Wagner Wear Magnalite. You know, I'm not a huge fan of this. This one here was $46.81 and a half. And then you'll see $46.82 here in just a second. This first one that I'm looking at, there's actually a crack on the bottom of the handle that I didn't notice, so I'm gonna have to list this at $20 and really hope that I can get that price. And then this slightly larger one, the $46.82, I'm going to list for $25. Again, I don't do a ton of pots and pans and Magnalite. I'm just not a huge fan of it. It doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't move fast enough for me, I suppose. So I'll move over to the electronics. This was a router of some sort that really has no value, even though it, you know, it looks like it's in good condition. I think I didn't see what the sticker was, $7 or $8. But I do like this gaming mouse. There's only, I'm like one of only 1 or 2 listed right now. Lenovo Y Precision Gaming Mouse. The sticker is missing on the bottom. I'm going to list this for $33. I see sold comps on brand new ones for a decent amount, so I'm going to take a shot at this just because there's not a ton of competition with me on any of the listings for pre-owned, so those will come home. That's a decent find. And we're going to move on to a cart that was just rolled out. Now these shoes, Zeba, the interesting thing about these, if you look at the back of the shoes, the marketing is you don't have to bend over to put them on. They like bend down, so it's just an interesting marketing angle. Those black shoes have already sold for $75. I listed the white ones as well for $75, and it's probably just a matter of time. They have a little bit of a smudge on the inside of each shoe, a little red or orange smudge, but I had never seen these before, so I'm glad I looked them up because I have them you know, both at 75. The black already sold. Fantastic deal right there. And then you'll see these KD, these Nike Kevin Durant's. These were a size 10. The soles were really in excellent condition. And I've actually already sold these for $60 as well. So I had a couple offers on it. It might have been the same buyer, but those sold quick. The black Zebas sold fast too. And again, it's just a matter of time before the white ones sell. So the night 2 trip turned out to be really, really nice. And thank goodness that they were still rolling out carts this late, because that usually doesn't happen in this location. So in all, I ended up picking up a total of 6 items, and I spent just over $25, and my total listed value, $284. Night 3, same store. I see a pair of Heelys. I don't usually sell these like skate shoes with the roller on the bottom, the skates on the bottom, but I'm gonna try these because, again, I'm always trying to challenge myself, and you know, if I haven't sold something before, it doesn't mean that it really won't sell. So I like picking up, especially shoes, are just easy for me to store, easy to photograph, easy to ship. I'm gonna put $30 on those, and we'll see what happens there. I moved over to the toys, and I do find this like little princess set of 7 like Disney princess figures, and this actually have a good resale value based on the UPC. So those are coming with me as well, and you'll notice in my cart I have an absolute ton of plush. Now I had to get really creative because these plush were like hidden in the back of the store. So this one here, it's a bunch of Yummy World, and then I have a Squishmallow. This was a guacamole that I have listed for, I think, 15. This guy here, I see some sold comps. Wade the werewolf sold in the $50 range. I'm shooting for 100 on that guy just because he's rare. It doesn't seem like there's that many of them. This is Flaco Taco, I think his name was. I don't know, these are all pretty silly. And then this is like a Tabasco one. I think her name is Roxy. And I found a couple of those, listed those for 15. And these will probably like sell a little bit slower. This one here, they have a veggie taco. All of the ingredients are on the inside. It's like zipped in there. So I have all of those in there as well. The sold comp for 60, brand new, which was pretty cool. And then Chip 'n Dale, like with Big Feet from the Disney store. Those are great. I'm gonna shoot for $50 for both of those. And then a Yummy World corn dog, list that for $30. There is a sold comp for 30 as well. So 11 items I found that night for $18.59, and listed value $353. It's starting to get really interesting. So on night 4, they shoved out a bunch of carts, and I'm looking around here, and I'm really going to get out of my comfort zone because you're going to see in just a second that there is some plateware, like some porcelain china. And again, I don't do a lot of that, but I actually end up, and I'm looking at this like soup tureen or whatever you want to call this. I don't pick this one up, but the plates, and you'll see them here in just a second, I do pick up a stack of 11. There are actually 12 there, but the one on top was cracked. So I don't take that one, but I do take 11. The plates were only 99 cents each, and I'm gonna put this thing down in a second. But these sold within 2 hours of me listing them. It is Thomas Haviland is the brand, and from France. The 11 plates sold for $150, and when something sells that fast, usually an indication I had them priced too low, but that was such an exciting find, just especially because of how quickly they sold. So, you know, me coming at this time of night is really starting to pay off, and it's something that I really did not expect, just because of this location and how hammered it gets, and especially at the time of night. But I really wanted to challenge myself, and you know, it is what it is. So I'm just looking for other like pieces. I don't pick up any of these other ones because, again, I don't know any better, and I don't recognize any of the marks. So found a pair of New Balance 993s. These were a size 10. There were very few listed. This is an absolute banger of a bolo right here. I had these listed really, you know, for a couple of days. They already sold for $100. So that was just another amazing find. So the plates sold for $150. These sold for $100. And you'll see I also pick up an Oster hair trimmer set. And for $4.99, I'll take a chance on it. The comps for new in this brand and in this style, selling for, you know, a decent amount, $50, $60. So I'm gonna try to get maybe $25 to $30 for that set. Already took it home and tested it. Very powerful unit, works well. My total for night 4, 13 items, I spent $20.57, and then the total listed value for those is $280. Here we are on the final night. I pick up this pair of Flyknits, Nikes. They sell slow for me, but they do sell well. This was a size 11.5, and you know, I'm gonna list these for $30. They always seem to get scuffed up on the front, but those will sell. It's just a matter of time. And I end up moving over to the electronics. Now I like these TVs that have the DVD built in. So this is an RCA model, and there's no sold comps on this, but the remotes sell well, and I don't really care so much that you can't find, or that I can't find a sold comp on it. So I'm gonna put $100 on this. I think that's a fair price. It only cost me $9.99, and that's coming with me as well. So we will see, but here's the crown jewel. This is a Broyhill Brasilia mid-century modern desk. I could not believe this when I found it. There's the tag that you see right there. There was a recent sold comp on eBay for $1,800 with free shipping. This thing is probably worth way more than that after it is finished. So that brings my total, 3 items spent. I spent $34.67, and my listed value is $135. And the reason it's not more than $135 is that desk was stolen. That's right. I went in the following morning to pick it up, and the piece was gone. The employees that were working aren't saying anything. The management staff, not saying a word. Even the loss prevention manager in the district, not saying a word. Nobody seems to know what happened in the 2-hour span of this piece disappearing from that store. I couldn't believe it. It's just such an unbelievable thing, because quite honestly, the rest of the week was fantastic, but a lot of dishonest people in this world, and I will talk about what has happened since then in a future video. So if you want to see that, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. All in all, it was still a decent haul, but yeah, that beautiful piece of furniture was taken, and nobody seems to know what happened to it. Brendan here, Dad Planet. Thanks you so much for tuning in. Really appreciate each and every one of you, and we'll see you in the next video.